Alright guys, we got a, what is this, Mitsubishi Lancer 2004 model, I believe. It's just a 4-cylinder petrol engine. The car came in with a lack of power. First thing we're gonna do quickly, check the trouble codes. Okay, we got no trouble codes in this car. I'll quickly show you what's going on. So basically, you start the car, it's really rough at times, but idle, not too bad. It's pretty smooth enough. If you rev it on idle, you can rev it pretty good, but as soon as you put it in drive, and you're trying to rev it, like trying to load the engine up a bit, and I can feel it's just bogging down. It feels like it's a lack of fuel pressure, something wrong with the fuel delivery. That's what I'm seeing here, just looking at the symptom. I haven't taken it for a drive, but I don't think I need to, because as soon as I load it up, the car's not gonna really go too far because it's just bogging down. Alright, what I'm gonna do, quickly check the live data, and all I'm interested here is my baby oxygen sensor. Let's put that in there. Also, I want to see maybe fuel trim data, if there is. No fuel trim data on this engine. Okay, car's pretty old guys, so we got 43 degrees, warming up. I just want to let that engine warm up a little bit. So once we have the oxygen sensor working properly, you know guys, it needs heat sometimes, so let's give it some time. Alright, we're sitting about 55, 60, 55 degrees Celsius, 57. Our O2 is kind of doing what we needed to do. It's going up and down, as you can see. Okay, and let's Alright, that should be warm enough. The oxygen sensor is going up and down between close to 50 millivolts to 700, 800 millivolts, so it's alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rev this car, and I want to see how this oxygen sensor reacts. Okay, let me put it in drive now, and I'm gonna try to just wait there, just watch this data, see how it's sitting about 39 millivolts. That suggests this oxygen sensor is reading very lean condition here. So I'm trying to rev the engine now while it's in drive. It's like I can barely rev it, and see, the whole time I'm trying to rev it, engines is just fluttering, it's not even responding. See, the whole time I'm in drive, I'm putting load on this engine. The whole time the oxygen sensor is sitting very lean, right? And I'm trying to rev it up on drive, but I can't. But it's all right. So as soon as I go to rev it up, see, it's going down to 0, the oxygen sensor data. Let it just idle on drive. It's sitting about 40 millivolts, very lean. Let's go back to park, and it start to go up. So it looks like the fuel pressure is enough just to, you know, keep the engine idling running. but as soon as you put load, not enough fuel pressure, because we can see it's dropping very lean on O2 sensor. So I'm thinking it's got some sort of fuel pressure issue. Okay, definitely we're gonna have to go further on that diagnostic on the fuel system. Okay, all right, so next step, just to prove my point that it is a fuel pressure issue, I will probably want to put a fuel pressure gauge and see if it's true. Okay, all right, we'll get that out of the way. Okay, now right here should be our fuel pump, or one of these. Sometimes, yeah, could be two separate units, could be something in that plate as well, but it should be in there. Let's get that off. I'll just get this out of the way. Alright, that side. Alright, that's our fuel pump right there. Alright, we got the return line here, and we got the supply line connector. So all I'm gonna do is take this return line, and then we're gonna probably measure a fuel pressure gauge, fuel pressure there. Okay, sometimes if you spray a bit of a lubrication here, penetration oil, it's easy to get this this pipe off. Sometimes it's the dirt and whatnot. Alright, we're just gonna pinch that tabs and then try to pull it out. There you go, it's out. Alright, now we're gonna hook up our fuel pressure gauge. Okay, we'll, if we can, sometimes it's hard to really reach. Right on at the tank, sometimes it can be difficult to do, but I'll try my best, guys. Alright, we'll just put that in there, just loop it around and supply to the engine, and we'll just hook up our fuel pressure gauge right there. Okay guys, fuel pressure, we're gonna just start the car and see what sort of pressure we're looking at. Alright, I guess I can. Alright guys, hopefully you can see my fuel pressure gauge. Alright, we are running at 20 psi. Alright, that's all we got, 20 psi. See if you guys can read that. So I'm gonna rev it at idle. It's dropping a little bit, not bad. So I'm just gonna put it in drive now. Obviously put your foot on the brake when you do this kind of test. And now I'm gonna try to rev it. The fuel pressure is not dropping, but you got the idea. Okay, even at idle we don't have enough fuel pressure, so it's sitting around 20 the whole time. So it's definitely not enough fuel pressure, guys, even at idle in park. So I'm gonna go, and because we're checking right at the fuel tank, so the fuel filter blockage is out of the question, because if the fuel filter is blocked we should see, obviously more pressure at the fuel tank, not less. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the tank maybe, and we'll try to pull it out and see what we can see. I'm just quickly gonna start, and because I forgot to bleed that fuel pressure gauge, maybe that might make it a little bit different if I bleed it. Let's see. I'll bleed that. That should be no air in the fuel pressure tester. And right here, guys, still sitting at 20, so definitely something's going on here. I'm gonna take the fuel filter and everything off and see what's going on inside there. Alright, guys. Okay, we'll get this tester out the way. There's a lot of fuel, guys, but anyhow, usually see how this fuel is still dripping from there. Usually if you take the fuel cap off, that will slow down, so we'll do that. Trying to get this fuel. So usually, yeah guys, yeah, if you got a fuel dripping there like that, even after you turn the car off, this fuel is coming out of the tank. Usually if you just release that pressure from the fuel tank, just take the cap off, you know, and that's will slow that fuel down. You see, it's almost stopped. So that's a little trick there for you guys if you didn't know. All right, I'm gonna have to get this pipes off and this connector out. Okay, it should come out now. Alright, just a little plate there. Should this should just come out now. Okay, that's all there is. Alright, we're gonna take this to the bench now. Alright, guys, basically all I'm gonna do here is put the fuel pump assembly into the water, and I'm gonna feed power through my jump pack. And we can also watch the pressure if you want to watch the pressure. We'll probably put it there. So basically, yeah, I just block this side. I'm just using my fuel pressure gauge fittings and all that. Basically, the other side of the fuel pressure gauge fittings, I just put a little rubber bung and a clamp, so it will not come off with the pressure, and we're gonna just seal the system basically. And I'm just gonna, this is not necessary, the fuel pressure gauge, but I'm just gonna use it anyway while we have it. Alright, I'll just put it there on the side. Okay, now I'm gonna put power on earth using my jump pack on two other wires that goes for the fuel pump. Okay, on this model, obviously these two pins here is for the fuel pump. Okay, all right guys, and then I'm just gonna try and energize this pump. Alright, you can see the pumps pushing down through the filter at the bottom when you have the polarity wrong. Okay, and we got a leak here, so let me fix that leak real quick first. Alright guys, back to what we were doing. I'm just gonna put power on earth now. And as soon as I put power on earth, I can hear the fuel running. Hopefully you guys can pick that up too. And I can see something is leaking there. Okay, you can see in the water. Let's see if I can get that for you. Right in there you can see the water just pushing it out. Okay, so we're gonna have to address that and see what's going on. That's why we are losing fuel pressure. Okay, let's get it out. So looks like it's leaking from the seal right in there. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I'll pull it apart and we can see if we can fix this. Okay, I'll just disconnect everything here. Pull this apart. Start from the bottom. There's a little rubber bit there. Pull the fuel pump. Might have to disconnect this connector here at the top for the fuel pump. There's a little connector there too, so let's try to get that out as well. And this fuel pump should just come out from the bottom. So what I was seeing in that bucket of water was this seal here that wasn't sealing properly. So this seal right here, okay, on the fuel pump. So what can we do here to fix this? Definitely gonna need a new seal if we can. So I found a seal. Let's see if that fits there all right. That's too loose. I need to find a better seal. How about this one? I found another one here. Let's see if that's any better. It fits pretty good in there. And let's see if this is... that might work. That feels pretty good. Yeah. I like to have a bit more resistance in that seal, but that feels pretty good, to be honest. Let's try the old one, see how loose that was in there. Yeah, that was pretty loose. That's why I think it went bad. It was leaking. So we just found an old seal I had here in the shop. We're just gonna use that seal and we'll put it back. Okay. Alright, let's see what it does. Alright, we'll put the same setup again and on the bucket, and we'll see what it does. Let's put power on earth in that pin. Try and change the polarity here. Yeah. Alright guys, I don't see any more leaking, any more bubble in that bucket. As you can see, nothing is bubbling. The system has pressurized, and I got my fuel pressure gauge here, and you can see we're reading 60 psi right there. If you guys can see that numbers or not, but I'm reading 60 psi, no more leak. Okay, that's it. So that's a fix. We're gonna put it back, and that should be a fix for this car. Alright guys, I got the same data now. It's at idle in park. Let's change that to drive. It's running smooth. Rev it to drive. I can rev it again too. Like no problem now. It's got plenty of power. So it's the same data, guys. If I load the engine now, let's see what the oxygen sensor doing. And the whole time I'm revving the car, I see the oxygen sensor is staying rich. We know it's a fix, guys. That's one way to do fuel pressure issue diagnosis. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.